You! Hey everybody, this is Tyler with SUPDog Hawaii. We're going to tell the story of Phoenix, our lead instructor, the champion dog surfer. Super excited to tell you all about how she was rescued, how she became a surfer, a SUP dog, and more, so stay tuned. It all started back in 2017. I was living in San Diego at the time, and I decided that I wanted to cross the country to the East Coast, go to Massachusetts. I was going to go to Cape Cod to spend a summer working in Cape Cod. My grandparents are super sweet and they live in Massachusetts. They have a vacation home in Cape Cod and they are so sweet to invite their grandchildren out to stay the summer, save some money, spend some quality time with the family, and just enjoy the beautiful weather of Cape Cod. So I had a plan to bring my Toyota pickup truck. I was going to live in it for a little bit, do some vacationing, do some exploring, and I was going to drive all the way across the country from San Diego to Cape Cod, and that's when everything began. On the second day of my trip, I was heading on Highway 10 down in Arizona. I was headed to Phoenix. It was the second leg of my trip. I was going to stop at my little brother's house in Phoenix, Arizona. And I was about 70 miles from Phoenix, in the middle of nowhere, off the highway. It was in the middle of the desert. And I stopped at a gas station. It was a Love's gas station off the south side of the highway. And I was pumping gas in my truck. And I was approached by what appeared to be a homeless man. And if you're anything like me, I don't like being approached by random people when I'm in the middle of nowhere. So I kind of ignored this guy and didn't give him the time of day. He actually went away. I decided that I wanted to go into the gas station to get some supplies. I was a little bit hungry. And when I was coming back out from the gas station, the man approached me again. When he approached me, he got a few words out. He said, "Hey man, I'm not trying to get any money from you. I just have this dog and she needs some help." And I am a huge dog fan. I grew up with dogs in my family home. It kind of tugged on my heartstrings there. And I said, okay, let me see the dog. And so I drove around to the front of the gas station where he was kind of camped out behind some bushes kind of near like the sign of the gas station, and he came out from behind the bushes and he had a puppy in his hands, and she literally fit in the palm of my hands. She was chocolate brown in color. And if you guys have taken any of my stand-up paddleboard lessons where we teach paddleboarding with dogs, this story probably sounds a little familiar because Phoenix is always in it. And Phoenix she was about maybe 10 weeks old, just a little puppy, and she was curled up in a little ball, and I took her and I put her on my driver's seat and she peed first thing. That was back in 2017, and after she peed on my driver's seat, I knew that she was coming with me. So I put her on a towel on the passenger seat next, and I gave the gentleman $20 for his trouble. Phoenix had coffee stains on her head, so he had been giving her some coffee. And he also handed me a bag of adult dog food, which is not good for a 10-week-old puppy. So she was overheated. Phoenix was overheated. She was dehydrated. The bottom of her feet were totally burnt from the pavement. It was a Sunday when I rescued her. So I drove the remaining 70 miles to Phoenix, and when I got there, I had already been texting my brother that I rescued a dog from a small town called Quartzsite, which later on I realized was a trailer park town. There's pretty much nothing else there in Quartzsite. So I got to Phoenix, and my brother had an air-conditioned laundry room, put her on a pillow. She wasn't moving very much, so she seemed a bit, incapacitated. So we were pretty worried. I was pretty worried about her, and because it was a Sunday, the vet was closed. Next day, Monday, take her to the vet. and the vet said that she should be fine. She just needs to cool down, get some hydration, get some food, and he took out some treats in the vet office and handed them to her. That was the first time I saw her eat anything, was in the vet office. It was just a little snippet of a treat. He said it would be good to get her to eat some food, drink some water, and she needs to poop. So I took her back to the house, and we were working on that, trying to coax her to eat a little bit of food, to drink some water, and after she started moving around a bit, for those of you guys who are dog parents, you guys know, or especially puppy parents, sometimes dogs have a little bit of a hard time pooping. When they're young, they don't necessarily understand how to poop. Helping a dog to poop is, mother dogs, what they do to help their dogs poop, they lick their butt. So it helps them learn to poop. That's not what I did. Don't laugh. That's because that's not what I was doing. I did not just helped her try and poop, take a little pinky. That helped a lot. She was able to poop. This is hilarious. I can't believe I'm even posting this. But once she was able to poop, Phoenix, that changed everything. Her digestion and systems started working better, and she became a puppy, and the razor sharp teeth came out, and she started playing with my sock, trying to put holes in my toenails. At that time, when I was traveling to the East Coast, my pickup truck was basically my home. So I was living in the back of my Toyota pickup truck, and I built a bed frame, I had built drawers, and Phoenix basically grew up with me in the back of that pickup truck. And it was one of the best summers of my life. I had a really good time raising her. We would camp out in the woods. We would spend time at the beach. We'd go to the skate park, and she just was always by my side. And she spent quite a bit of time, off leash and in places where she wasn't at risk by cars or anything. We were kind of out in the middle of nowhere most of the time, so it was good for her to practice some recall and getting to know my voice and responding to me and getting to know me. It was just an awesome opportunity for Phoenix to grow as a young dog. So she played a lot of fetch. She loved the ball. She always loved chasing the ball. That was from the very beginning, and that was a fixation for her. So Phoenix had a great opportunity to exercise by playing fetch with the ball, and that's really how kind of things developed for her over the course of her life. She always had an obsession with the ball, and I used that as a training tool, something that I could basically grab her attention, lead her into the right situations, or also lead her away from danger by using the ball. So that later on, that played into her surfing and paddleboarding. So for the first year of her life, she was living in the back of a Toyota pickup truck. The end of the pickup truck came when the summer was over and I was driving back to California. Unfortunately, got in an accident with the Toyota. I didn't see a ditch on the side of the road, and the Toyota slipped into the ditch and ended up rolling over, and Phoenix was in the truck with me, which was pretty scary. I remember I called my dad that night. This was up in the middle of Minnesota. I'm halfway across the country, out in the boonies, and it's the month of November into December, really getting pretty cold, and had just rolled the truck, smashed the windshield, and it was a pretty tough situation. I had already had enough of the van life type lifestyle. It was pretty rugged, lots of trying to find a place to shower and trying to keep everything organized. When you have a puppy too, and the puppy's like destroying the inside of the truck, it was a tough lifestyle. I had a lot of fun, but I was ready to move on to something new. So, and it was during that time that I had discovered Hawaii as a surfing destination. Growing up in San Diego as a beach kid, I loved the ocean. I talked to my dad later on, and he said that he would take me and my brothers to the beach just so that we could get our energy out. Because we were just so much energy. We needed to get the energy out. So my parents would take me to the beach as a kid to get that out, and that's how I became obsessed with the ocean. And I was naturally drawn to the ocean after I got out of college. And so I started surfing, practicing surfing, and surfing's really tough. It's a super difficult sport. First opportunity to go to Hawaii was in December of 2017. I had a friend from Cape Cod who invited me to come to a capoeira graduation and, you know, twist my arm, right? Like inviting me to Hawaii, done. That's all I needed to come out, and my main goal was to surf. So I spent the first place I got to surf in Hawaii was Pu'uena Beach Park on the North Shore, which I rented the surfboard from Surf and Sea, and I was taking the bus. I was on a 10-day vacation. It was so much fun. I made a bunch of friends, and I decided that, you know, hey, I'm being called here. Like I really want to spend more time surfing in the tropics, and so I started putting together the pieces to move here. And that I did get the opportunity to move here in 2018, but I had to do a lot of work to get Phoenix out here. She was, you know, maybe about a year and a half old, and Hawaii, the Department of Agriculture, requires quite a lot. They require a lot to get a dog out to Hawaii from the mainland. Basically, there's rabies-free islands here in Hawaii, and to get a dog to come here, you have to make sure that they are free of rabies, and you need to prove it by doing some vet appointments and a blood test that shows that the dogs have the antibodies for rabies. I remember getting to the airport in San Diego, and they almost didn't let Phoenix on the plane because she has some pit bull in her, and short breed nosed dogs are not allowed to fly. And I was like, come on, look at her. She's got a lot of lab. Look at her nose. You know, I basically begged them. Sure enough, they were able to look past the pit bull part, and they just focused on the part that she has a lot of lab, and she was able to get on the plane. And that is the only plane flight that Phoenix has ever taken. It was from San Diego to Honolulu, and that was back in 2018 in August, and Phoenix has never flown since. She's been on the islands ever since. So Phoenix arrived on Oahu. She was just under 2 years old. And she had tons of energy. You know, a 2-year-old pit bull lab, lots of energy, totally excited on life. And I loved the ocean. I just wanted to spend more time in the ocean. And so the natural progression started to unfold. But I had a lot of help from this one surf shop called Blue Planet Surf. You know, when I was looking for jobs, and I found a Craigslist ad. So I walked into Blue Planet Surf in a full tuxedo, black tie, black suit. I had long blonde hair. The surf guys that were working the shop were like stunned. They had never seen someone walk in a full tuxedo to apply to surf shops. They had no air conditioning in that warehouse on Ward Avenue. So they were just like, you're crazy, dude. But I was persistent and really wanted to work in the surf industry. I had spent a lot of time working in the restaurant industry, so I had a lot of great customer service skills, but I just wanted to do something different that you know, involved surfing, involved the ocean. So when I found Blue Planet Surf, it was this big warehouse on Ward Avenue. It was a super cool shop. They had these, you know, 10, 11-foot paddle boards standing on the tail, like, and there was a couple 14-footers that were like all the way to the ceiling, and it was just kind of this cool atmosphere where we could talk shop and people would come in and talk about boards and talk about the ocean and different swells and, you know, surf spots, and it was just a cool, fun place to be. And I learned a lot there. My boss was very cool. He let me bring my dog to work. So Phoenix became the shop dog. She became the shop dog at Blue Planet, and she would sit at the front of the doors on the mat. She would say hi to everybody as they came in. Phoenix had a lot of experience by that point of interacting with people. You know, she had always spent time kind of at the front door of my work establishment to say hi to everybody, and that's how she gathered such a great, you know, personality with meeting people. That's kind of when the light bulb went off, when I was like, hey, Phoenix, she can't be the shop dog and not know how to paddleboard, right? She has to know how to paddleboard if she's going to be the shop dog here at Blue Planet. So I used the #1 training tool that I had in my arsenal, which was the ball. I took the ball with a rental board from Blue Planet. We went to Ala Moana Beach Park, and boom, she was a paddleboard dog. You know, she came right up on the board following the ball, and that was the beginning of everything. And some of the most entertaining moments in my life started to take place after she learned how to paddleboard. And, you know, although it sounds like it was easy, you know, there were many moments where things were challenging out in the ocean. Like Phoenix, we would paddle out, you know, we would start to get farther away from the shore, and Phoenix would get more nervous, and, you know, and then we would start to try in small waves, and Phoenix would get nervous. And so it took a lot of time for Phoenix to get like really, really comfortable out in the ocean. And I had to do a lot of, you know, positive affirmations and a lot of training with the ball so that she could enjoy and understand that this is a safe place for her. So we never really went towards like big waves, and we always kept it pretty mellow and calm. There were a few wipeouts over the years, but, you know, Phoenix has grown to be very strong and mentally fit, and now it's like no hesitation. She's in the water. She comes out every time. She always, you know, tends to look to the beach and enjoys like swimming to the beach when she's over it, you know, because there's times where we'll be out there for a little bit, and she's like, all right, I'm done, I'm gonna swim back to shore. From that point on, Phoenix and I started surfing Honolulu for a few years. You know, a couple of years we were surfing Waikiki primarily. I brought a 12-foot longboard from Blue Planet Surf, deck padded the whole longboard, had the whole board with some grip so that she could feel stable and have fun. And we started surfing the small waves in Waikiki, and that was a blast. Like, we made so many friends. I met my wife Machi while surfing in Waikiki with Phoenix. Ended up getting married in Waikiki with Phoenix out on the board. So, you know, it's a very influential dog for my life, and I'm super thankful for everything that she has provided me as a father and as a dog parent, as a business owner. You know, she basically inspired everything. You know, through the surfing in Waikiki and having tons of fun and paddleboarding with her, and the surf shop was great, but it wasn't paying a lot. And I had to go back to the restaurant industry to make enough money to pay my rent. And COVID hit. I said, hey, like, I gotta do something on my own. I gotta do something for myself. I gotta like start something that's different, that's unique. What if I start a brand where I teach people how to paddleboard with dogs, you know? And I was like, hey, I can call it SUPDog. What's up, dog? Hey, what's up, dog? Sup, dog? Yeah. And that was the beginning. Right when I thought of that, I was like, hey, you know, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. Like, I grabbed the Instagram handle, SUPDog, and then I threw Hawaii in there because I was like, all right, well, I'm in Hawaii, so that sounds really good, SUPDog Hawaii. And then I grabbed the URL. That was the beginning. It was November 2019, and I started basically offering free lessons for people locally who wanted to teach their dog how to paddleboard. After COVID kind of subsided a bit, we came up with another idea saying, hey, you know, there seemed to be a lot of locals who were interested, but there's a huge tourism industry here too. So I figured, hey, what if we try and, you know, market to tourists and see if they want to come out and paddleboard with us. And we can bring Phoenix, we can bring some other of my friends' dogs, and we can just have fun. And that's when we started the SUPDog experience, and that completely changed the brand. And now I pretty much, you know, work full time doing SUPDog experiences, and super grateful for that. So Phoenix is currently the lead dog for all of our SUPDog experience services. We moved up to the North Shore, and Phoenix became a professional. And then in 2013, we competed in the dog surf contest in Waikiki. I believe it was our third year competing, and Phoenix won the whole dog surf contest. She's got this super cool trick where she can catch the ball while riding the surfboard, and she likes to hang 10 too. So she goes to the front of the board, hangs her paws right off the front. Super fun. So when she won the contest, she got sponsored by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers for a whole year's worth of free chicken fingers. It was the best year of my life, and I shared a little bit of chicken fingers with my wife and some with Phoenix, and we just very grateful for this dog. So she's just my baby girl. So love you, Phoenix. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave it a like and a thumbs up, and subscribe to the SUPDog channel, where we'll share more dog surfing videos, more SUPDog videos, and more stories about rescue dogs. So thanks so much for watching, and hope you guys have a blessed day. Aloha.